don't have internet, right? Then maybe you would think, oh, it's a baby pineapple, right? So, when people don't know about things like that from other countries, they make guesses, right? It looks like a fruit, we eat it like a fruit, it must grow on a tree. But no, the pineapple is the tree, right? The pineapple is actually the tree part of that fruit, right? But then again, we also have things like bananas. Is banana really a fruit?
Yes.
Where are the seeds? Banana, 山楂 right? 山楂籽在哪里？ What about things like, what about berries, right? A cherry is like a small peach, right? Like a small plum. 桃子跟水蜜桃跟葡萄，那不是葡萄，是樱桃， right? They all have a relationship. They're all the same kind of fruit. You have a skin, and then you have the meat, and then you have a pit, right? They all have a relationship of some kind. But what about grapes? 葡萄。为什么它也是桃？桃子跟水蜜桃跟樱桃，它们都是差不多一样的。It's a different 桃。葡萄的桃是跟桃子的桃不一样吗？
Yeah.
Really?
一个是木质的桃，另一个是草字桃。
Can you show me? This is the first time I've heard about that, so that's why I'm asking. I thought those were the same word. Okay, that's 桃子的桃, right? And 葡萄的桃. Okay. Oh. Okay, so now I learned a new word. I thought it was all the same, but 樱桃 and 水蜜桃 都是这个桃. Okay. So why do you do that? 为什么发音一样? Why do you have to have the same sound and confuse the foreigners? Huh. That's new for me. Okay. What about all the different 果? Like, 水果 the 苹果是水果一样的果, right? Okay. Are all of the 果 the same 果? I know there's also 瓜, but 还有不同的果吗？水果是苹果，还有什么果？ Aren't there other fruit with the 果 in the name? Yeah, 芒果, right? Okay. And then you have all of the 瓜, right? You have all kinds of 瓜. You have like the south 瓜and the north 瓜, right? So you name them that way because if their fruit are from your area where the language comes from, then as people develop names for them, they can make relationships because they understand them better, right? But for us, okay, we have the word melon, which is usually what we mean by a 瓜, sorry. But you have also these words. A lot of what you call gua are for us actually these, like pumpkin. For us, pumpkin and watermelon, very different. So those are gua, right? So that's something where if it's from your area, you probably have a better name for it. When English speakers first saw pineapples, it was a good guess. They look like pine cones, they're fruit, call them pineapples. But they're not the only ones to use the word apple. What do you call those little, small red fruit? We sometimes call them bell fruit. It's kind of shaped like a bell, right? We also call this fruit wax apples, because the skin is usually like wax, like candle wax, right? It has that feel to it if you touch it. So, bell fruit, wax apple. There's another apple. It's very, very sweet. I don't remember the Chinese name for it now. It sometimes is called Buddha head fruit. It looks like, it's green, and it looks a little bit like guava, but the skin is all a little, it looks like little, and it's really sweet on the inside. And right in the middle, there's all kinds of black hard seeds. Yeah. We call those custard apples. Okay. Custard is a kind of sweet pudding. So, when people first tasted these, they thought they taste kind of like custard, that sweet flavor on the inside. And apple, because every fruit is an apple. In Guoya, right? 水果的果子, okay? So that's probably why they use apple. But it's not just in English. We actually have a lot of languages that have this problem. What do you guys call potatoes? And what about sweet potatoes? Why is one a gua and one isn't? Potato and sweet potato, they're similar. They're not the same, but they're similar. So what does ma ling su, right? What does that actually mean? Why do you call it that? Yeah? You know what they're called in French? Yeah, you should know that one. Yeah. They're earth apples, or apples from the dirt, because you dig them out of the ground. So in French, these are also apples. Okay? So fruit names can be a lot of fun because you can see where the fruit was named and whether the country where that language is also the country where the fruit grows. Because a lot of times our names for our own fruit, they make sense. But our names for foreign fruit, another example, orange. Originally was not called orange. you know we have the words a and an, right? Okay. This is where the word started. And when we used it often in English, then people kept talking about an orange, an orange, an orange. The N moved over. And it happens in other words too. One of them is uncle. Uncle, susu, right? Used to be nuncle. So, there are places where words change that way, just because of the way people talk. And it happens in Chinese too, right? So that's a fun question, yeah. So pineapple, because it looks like a pine cone for the pine, and the apple part, because, you know, they didn't know what else to call it. It's a fruit, apple. So, yeah, word questions are fun. Okay, can you guys think of any other questions to add to this? Like I said, if you can build relationships between ideas, if we can start here and go, you know, with other words that are related, then they have a reason to stay in your brain. If we just talk about a new idea and a new idea, you'll forget very quickly. So, 还有什么可以问？ Are there other fruit that you can think of that the name doesn't make sense for you? I have a question for you. Peanuts. 为什么花生? Hua is flower, right? And that sun is life, isn't it? So, peanuts, flower, life. I don't understand. No, peanut doesn't make sense either, because they're not nuts, right? They grow in the ground. So peanuts are more like potatoes than they are like nuts, but we call them nuts. And I'm not really sure why, because they're not like peas either. So that one I don't know, I would have to check. So, 花生为什么? Anybody know?